What's this? What is this? 10.99 Aldi's. Not the best buy at the moment, I think, for packs wise. I haven't had a cold one video for quite some time now. Bit left in that. But yeah, I just thought I would have a chat about, I've joined whoa, lovely. Bit more fizzy or gassier in Carlsberg, but it's nice. Nice lager. 10.99. Yeah, I've joined 28 days later. Now then, if you don't know what 28 days later is, it's urban explorers. It's a site for urban explorers. These genuine urban explorers. They go to these places, abandoned places, and what have you, take their photos and they upload them on 28 days later. Now, I've said it once and I'll say it again, I am not an urban explorer. Okay, I do document the mental, which I'll talk about. This is going to be the subject of this video. Document the mental, Maes Mynnan, which I'll talk about in a minute, Bryn Mawrfydd, various other places, and yeah, that's all. I'm just documenting. You know, I'm not an urban explorer. I don't go go wandering around the country to certain places. Or go to the next one, go to the next one, this and that. That's all I'm doing. I just document and report certain places. But I was on 28 days later. You don't have to be a member to view the threads and stuff. And I was looking at for Maes Mynnan. Because I don't watch, well, on 28 days later there's no videos, it's all photos, but on YouTube I don't watch videos of the mental. I've been asked before, oh, have you seen this and seen that, and I do not watch videos unless it's something like, oh, someone's reported a fire, you know, or something like that. If it's just a general visit and they're wandering around and all that, I'm not interested. I don't watch them. It's like, as far as I'm concerned, it's like if someone, you know, wandered around your back garden and all that and posted it, you're not going to watch it. You know, I know this is just theoretical, or whatever you call it. But because you know what you're going to see, you know your back garden backwards. It's boring. You know, to me, watching people wandering around, well, I used to early days. I don't, like I say, I don't bother now. But to me, it would be boring. I got no interest. I don't watch, you know, videos of the mental on YouTube. But what happened today was I was on 28 days later, and I was looking at Maes Mynnan because I visited there. It's going back a couple of years now. I was just wondering if there's anyone, or, you know, I haven't passed it for a while. And there was a thread, so I clicked on that, and apparently it's still, well, I say empty. You know, there's stuff inside. When I visited, there was no obvious way to get in, but I don't think I would have gone in. I just wandered around the grounds and just videoed it and GoPro'd it and what have you. But they'd been in, oh, this door is rattling, and taken photos and this and that, and they were saying, and it was a pretty recent post, so it's still, nothing's been done with it. You know, these things take time. So anyway, to cut a long story short, I just flicked through, and there was a recent post about the mental North Wales Hospital Denbigh Asylum. Can't remember how they titled it, probably North Wales Hospital. And I just thought, I'll flick through, and same old photos and this and that. So I started reading the comments, and guess who was featured in the comments? Moi. And what it was, they were talking about, well, firstly about Google and Wiki, what the locals call it. And yes, I have mentioned it once or twice, what the locals call it. And some people were replying saying, yeah, the Google say, or Wiki say that the locals call it Denbigh Mental or Denbigh Asylum. And I have said quite often, because I like putting the record straight, especially with people that haven't got a clue what they're talking about. We don't call it Denbigh Mental, and we don't call it the Denbigh Asylum. We just call it the mental. Where you off to? I'm off to the mental. Where have you been? Oh, I've just been around the mental. That's all we do, is call it the mental. Anyway, obviously, basically, someone commented, and they had one of my photos saying, oh, he's a local lad, and he calls it the mental. I'll just shut this door. He calls it the mental. Fair enough. And then someone commented saying, oh, it's the Denbigh vids, and what have you, and whatever. Because they obviously basically watch my videos on YouTube. And another one then commented saying he calls it the North Wales Hospital in his videos. So then, to put the record straight, I call it a lot of things just for my videos. Just for the title and the commentary. I'll call it the mental. I'll call it the North Wales Hospital. I'll call it the NWH. I'll call it the Denbigh Asylum. And I'll call it the Denbigh Mental. That's just for my videos and my commentary. When us locals talk about the mental, that's what we don't do. We just call it the mental. I will call it the NWH, Denbigh Asylum, Denbigh Mental. That is just for the titles and commentary on my video. The majority of time of my titles, I will call it the NWH or the North Wales Hospital. I will call it that, or title it that. But as we speak, as we talk about the mental, we talk about the mental, we just call it the mental. And in a lot of my videos, a lot of my reports, I will actually end, if you watch them, if you're a regular, I'll say, well, thanks very much, thanks for watching. Another update on the mental, Denbigh Mental, North Wales Hospital, Denbigh Asylum. I'll run through all the different things that it can be called. But for the record, as locals, we just call it the mental. And then they went on to say, oh yeah, he's the one that filmed Elwyn and the dog and this and that. They started one or two talking about that. And then someone commented saying he's weird. They said he's been beaten up by Elwyn. Elwyn's smashed his camera. Elwyn's dog has bitten me, and I'm still chummy with him. As I said earlier, if people are going to talk about someone, get your facts right or know the truth. If you don't know either, then just shut up. He doesn't know what he's talking about. So I joined 28 days later and I replied to them, put the record straight, and I've posted a few of my photos and GoPro stills and the mental and what have you. So yeah, this is for the record. I just thought I'd make a little YouTube video with a cold one. So 1, Elwyn has never beaten me up. 2, Elwyn has never smashed my camera. He's grabbed it, but he's never smashed it. 3, Elwyn's dog has never bitten me. And 4, I have not been chummy, as they put it, with Elwyn for, it's got to be about 2 or 3 years now. So, you know, they just get all this stuff wrong. They're talking about someone, they haven't got a clue what they're talking about. They just shut up. If you don't know what you're talking about, you haven't got your facts right, or you don't know the truth, then don't talk about anyone. So yeah, I just put the record straight. You know, I've replied to them and whatever. So I am actually a member of 28 Days Later. And as I say, just for my first post, I just posted a few photos of the mental. They were GoPro stills actually, because I don't go around with these cameras, stills cameras. You know, I generally just use video, so it's stills of the video. So just like just put a thread, as they call it, with them on. So yeah, just thought I would have this cold one and a bit of a putting the record straight. You know how people, you know, they're full of it. You know, oh yeah, I know this and that, and they say they're about to talk about someone and they don't know what they're talking about. But as I say, to recap, as locals, the North Wales Hospital, we call it the mental. We don't call it anything else, but on my videos and on my commentary I will call it by various names. I will call it the mental, I'll call it the North Wales Hospital, I'll call it the Denbigh Mental, I'll call it the Denbigh Asylum, I'll call it a variety of things, but in general, when we talk about the mental, we just call it the mental. And then, you know, with regards to Elwyn, totally untrue. He's never beaten me up, I should say. He's tried to attack me. I've never ever been frightened of him. A lot of people, you know, because of I'm the big man, Big Elwyn and all that, they're frightened of him. I'm not. I never have been. Never have been frightened of him. He doesn't scare me at all, not in the slightest. But he's never beaten me up. He's never smashed my camera. His dog has never bitten me, and I'm not chums with him. Talk about two-faced. I can tell you one or two things about Elwyn that I found out. Two-faced. And that's another thing that I don't like. You know, two-faced, and I could tell you, but I won't go into that because Elwyn is history now. So that's it. You don't know, if you can start talking about someone and you don't know the truth, or you haven't got your facts right, zip it.